despite evidence to the contrary. One commentator recently tried convincing readers that there is no connection between the Department of Justice's Strong Cities Network and the United Nations. First, it should be noted that Strong Cities Network is not a government body at all, writes Patrick Wood of technocracy.com, but rather a non-governmental organization, NGO, with no connection to any government or even the United Nations. Wood apparently is projecting his own unfounded hopes on a program that is not only tied to the UN, but is also bound to it by being the source of the globalist philosophy upon which the scheme is built. As I reported on October 6, the Strong Cities Network, SCN, is a program hatched by the Department of Justice wherein control of local law enforcement is handed over to a London-based think tank called the Institute for Strategic Dialogue, ISD. In Europe, ISD has gained a reputation for being committed to the identification and targeting of far-right extremists. Now, 4 American cities, New York, Atlanta, Denver, and Minneapolis, have become part of the ISD Strong Cities Network. As for the organization's ties to the UN, consider Attorney General Loretta Lynch's announcement at the UN, wherein she stated, "Connecting those localities to one another as the Strong Cities Network is doing is not only a powerful way to lift up our communities worldwide, it also sends a message about who we are and what we aspire to be as an alliance of nations and as a global community. It is not just any old alliance that is behind the ISD. A quick search of the group's website reveals the identity of its board of trustees, a cadre of internationalists that is second to none. Among the 14 board members is found Charles Guthrie, Baron Guthrie of Craig Bank, a member of the House of Lords, who currently acts as a non-executive director of global financier, N.M. Rothschild and Sons, and represents the firm's interest on the Trilateral Commission. Guthrie also spoke at the 2011 meeting of the Bilderberg Group. He is not the only director of the ISD with an impressive internationalist resume. Consider the insider bona fides of ISD board member Dr. Gary Sammer. As reported on the ISD website, from 2006 to 2009, Dr. Sammer was Vice President for Studies at the Council on Foreign Relations, CFR, in New York, where he held the Morris R. Greenberg Chair and directed the David Rockefeller Studies Program. Before joining CFR, Dr. Sammer was Vice President for Global Security and Sustainability at the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation in Chicago, and from 2001 to 2005, he was Director of Studies and Senior Fellow for Non-Proliferation at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, IIS, in London. At IIS, he produced 3 strategic dossiers on Iran, 2005, North Korea, 2004, and Iraq, 2002, which are considered authoritative and exemplary assessments of nuclear, biological, chemical, and missile programs in those countries. Remember, there are now 4 major American metropolises that have handed over control of their law enforcement policy and practice to the Institute for Strategic Dialogue, who in turn is controlled by a who of top-tier globalist, One World Government, CFR, Trilateral, Bilderberg, Rothschild power brokers. And in its various reports, the ISD has made clear that the disarmament of civilians, particularly those found in the right wing, is the only sure way to safeguard the world. As is so often the case, the group identifies right-wing extremism with ownership of guns and ammunition. Now that the Justice Department and the ISD have been handed a significant role in settling law enforcement policy for the largest city in the United States, gun owners should consider fleeing New York in advance of the enforcement of the following ISD observation. Worryingly, Europol confirms that many members of the extreme right-wing scene have been found in possession of a significant amount of firearms, ammunition, and these extremists have even been known to participate in target practice. Remember, The mayors of 4 American cities have subverted their citizens' control over their police in favor of a group of globalist gun grabbers who truly believe that owning guns and ammo and taking target practice make one an extremist worthy of imprisonment. This move toward international integration of global law enforcement agencies is antithetical to the locally controlled police that are a part of and accountable to the community they serve. The Strong Cities initiative will prove to likely be another brick in the wall of enmity between police and people that grows higher with every encounter. Self-serving bureaucrats inside the U.S. government are tirelessly trying to obliterate local police forces answerable to local citizens and promote the consolidation movement as a step toward federalization of law enforcement. These proponents of regional and national police forces desire nothing less than the eradication of all local police departments and sheriff's offices, the surrender of state and municipal sovereignty, and the conversion of local law enforcement officers into federal security agents sworn not to protect and to serve their neighbors but to protect the prerogatives of politicians. Beyond the obvious violations of the Constitution, the Strong Cities network is expanding and represents the most insidious of all the concurrent civilian disarmament avenues being pursued by the Obama administration. The management of the SCN and the ICE provides pretext for the president to claim that he is not trying to take away guns from the American people. He can point to the fact that the elected leaders of these cities are making the decision to participate in the program and that it tied to no federal mandate. One can imagine President Obama explaining that New York, Atlanta, Denver, Minneapolis responded to a local problem with a local solution. There was no federal involvement or compulsion to join SCN, he'll insist. In fact, he'll boast, in the truest spirit of localized government, these mayors didn't wait for instruction from Washington, rather they took charge and changed their situations for the better, making their cities safer. The charge now is to beware. The SCN will continue growing, gaining control of the police in one U.S. city after another, unless citizens across the country demand their leaders refuse to participate in the program, maintaining local control of law enforcement.